Hey YouTube, it's Kaylin here at Full Purpose and Heart, and it has been a while since I have had a chance to film a video that is an update to our homeschool journey and our homeschool life. So I thought I would take a few moments now. The kids are running around and playing, so hopefully we'll be able to get through this video before the baby wakes up and life gets kind of crazy again. If you're interested in hearing how the 10 weeks of our school have gone, the last few, well, not all 10 weeks, just the last few weeks, let's just go ahead and get started. Yes, it has been 10 weeks of school, and I am thrilled and surprised that it's gone so quickly. We started in July because we had the baby in the beginning of September, and I took a couple of weeks off right after the baby was born. So, we're back on track and things are going really well. I've also started our in-home preschool for the area, the little neighborhood kids that come over 3 times a week. So we are a very busy household here with a brand new baby, a very busy 2-year-old, several preschool kids coming over, and then my kindergartner as well. So for this video, I just wanted to talk about our my kindergarten curriculum and my kindergarten life and how things are going, because I know in a few years when I look back and I've got kid number 2 going through kindergarten, I'm gonna watch all these videos and think to myself, how did I do that? And I want to duplicate some of the things I did and know what worked and what didn't. Also, hopefully this is helpful for some of you out there who are researching to get started on a kindergarten year, or maybe you're kind of in the thick of it with me and we're just kind of walking this road together. So a couple things I want to chat about. I want to update you on how our curriculum is going, and then I want to talk about the additional activities that I've kind of been supplementing and interjecting here and there in his schoolwork. So, and then overall how things are going. So the first little topic is our curriculum. At the beginning of the year, if you didn't watch any of my videos, you may want to check those out and why I chose the curriculum I did. But our main core is just phonics and math. It is kindergarten, so I didn't feel like I needed to give him a ton of subjects. So our main curriculum is from the Horizons. That's kind of distributed by Alpha and Omega. And as an overall thought, I really do enjoy it. The beginning, you may, if you've watched some of my videos, the beginning of the phonics curriculum was a little bit redundant for me because we had already done so much with the alphabet, the sounds and the letters and recognition and all that stuff that my son was proficient. So I was feeling really bogged down and kind of struggling with it. But my last video, I talked about how I had kind of modified it, and since then it's been going really well. And we are introducing new digraphs and anyway, new sounds and all that stuff. So it's been going well. I still do select, kind of pick and choose which of the activities that I want my son to do. So we do kind of go through it pretty quickly, and it's been going really well. As far as the math, I really like it. As I've said before, it is just 1 page front and back, so it's the perfect amount of work, I feel like, and it's also repetitive with that cyclical structure that the Horizons curriculum has, where it kind of introduces a topic and then you go back and then you kind of don't do it for a while and then you come back and do it for a while. So it's been really good. It also kind of helps me recognize areas where my son needs a little bit more practice so that I can interject a couple of additional activities in those areas that he needs. So for example, right now, he's been learning pennies and dimes kind of here and there, and he's struggling to remember that dimes are 10 cents, so therefore when we count them, we need to count by tens. So it's just kind of helped me realize, like, well, I just need to pull some additional activities that will reinforce when we count dimes, we count by tens. When we count pennies, we count by ones. So that's kind of an example of that. But overall, the Horizons curriculum has been going really well. For science, we've just barely started science this week, and we started with plants, and it's been going really great. I do very little science. I use something that's distributed by Carson DeLosa in their interactive notebooks. I'll put a link here. I did a review of their science interactive notebook so you can see what it is I'm using, and it's working really great. I kind of pick and choose a couple of their activities, and then I either modify them or just copy them directly from the book and do it. So I'll show you what we've done this week. We've been working kind of on plants and that sort of thing. So we started with alive and not alive, and I put this on the front, and then he drew a picture of something that was alive and something that was not alive. We talked about these printouts are from the Carson DeLosa interactive notebook curriculum that I purchased. So we talked about these, and then we went through a magazine and cut out pictures of things that were alive and things that were not alive. So that was a really fun activity. We reiterated this stuff when the preschool kids were here because I felt like it was easy topics that 3 to 5 year olds could talk about. So that was kind of fun. We then talked about apples and apple trees. Again, because we had the preschool kids in our home, I was trying to find activities that we could reiterate with them and do with them as well as do on a kindergarten level. So we made this little poem. I've done this before with my son, so you may be like, oh, I saw this on another one of her videos. I have done this before. We did a little bit more work with the, is it upside down? I think it is. There we go. A little bit more with the cutting and pasting this year because he's in kindergarten, but it's just a poem. We just like built a poem. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably some cute phrase that you can say about it, but we made an apple core. Here's the seeds, and then we have the apple tree with the apples on it. So anyway, and it just went with the poem. The poem says, eat an apple, save the core, plant some seeds, and grow some more. So we did this, and it kind of went along with alive and not alive. And then the last thing, which we're going to complete today, is the things that plants need. And this is just a piece of construction paper, and then inside each of the letters, we're gonna write down what they need. So it's air, water, sun, and soil. So anyway, that's kind of the activity that we're gonna do. And that'll be our science unit for this week, and then we're gonna continue it on next week, I believe, which I can't remember. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about what, like different plants and stuff, which I haven't planned that yet because it's next week. So anyway, science is going really well. So that's kind of our curriculum. I have all thumbs up for it so far, and things are going well. Right now, the way that I've kind of been running our curriculum, I was doing the work boxes for a long time and it was going really well. So this topic that I'm going to talk about kind of piggybacks with the additional curriculum, the supplemental. So here's my conversation. I feel like maybe I'm trying to do too much. And so I've scaled back a lot. And I think I get my desire to do too much from a couple of areas of my life. One, I was a public school teacher, so I feel like I need to have all of these additional activities. I feel like there's a benefit to repetitive additional activities kind of here and there. But on the same token, I feel like with our 2.5 hours of preschool time where Cameron does kindergarten level work with the preschool children, to then pull that away and do additional activities. I don't know. I just kind of have been feeling like it's a little overkill, and so I've been pulling back a lot. We started doing the interactive notebooks at the beginning of the year. I've scaled way back on those, and he does a little bit here and there, maybe like twice a week. But the repetition of having to do that literary interactive notebook I felt was really unnecessary. So we kind of have cut back on that. Games, activities, all that fun stuff, especially since I started preschool, has cut way back because I'm doing a lot of things in the preschool centers, and then I'm just interjecting his level work with those preschool kids. So for example, in my last video I talked about a math bundle that I purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers. You're gonna have to watch that video to find out where it is, and I'll put it in the description box below because I've forgotten what that is. But I have printed off a lot of stuff with those and worked on those. I've gotten a lot of stuff from the Reading Mama website. She's got a lot of free games and activities that go with like the digraphs and the I don't know, all the sounds and stuff. I can't remember what they're all called in the language. But anyway, all that stuff, I do print off those games, and he does those like clip cards and that sort of thing. But overall, I kind of was like, I feel like I'm doing too much, so I've scaled way back. And for the most part, we don't do the work boxes very much anymore. I'll put like 1 or 2 activities in there for when the preschool kids are doing centers. But on Monday and Friday, when I don't have my preschool kids here, we really just do the Horizons lessons. I put them on this clipboard, so he kind of just knows these are the pages that he has to do that day, and it kind of helps keep us on track and yet not having to kind of overdo it or overkill on the activities. So that's kind of how we've been flowing with that, and it has been going really good. I'll have to do another video about how our preschool is going and how I've organized that. It's going really great as well. So overall, our school life, our homeschool life is going excellent. I've been watching some other homeschool videos, and the fall is here. It's beautiful weather, and people are going and schooling outside, and I really need to do that. So today, we're going to take our little clipboard here and a snack and a blanket, and we're going to go to the park and play and do some schoolwork outside, because that's one of the benefits of school is doing school at home, is that you're not having to do it by a desk. And I sometimes have to get out of my public teacher frame of mind about sitting at a desk and doing your work in a desk, because that's how I was trained, and that's where most of my experience is. So anyway, so I'm breaking free of that. I wanted to talk briefly about socialization, because that's kind of a big hot topic with homeschooling. Is, are you going to make sure your kid is socialized, and how do you ensure that it's socialized? So for me this year, we've got all of our bases covered, because I do have preschool in my home. And fortunately this year, 2 of my preschool kids are 5 years old, and their birthdays just were a week or 2 after the cutoff day for public school. So they are 5. They're the same age as my son. They're in all of my son's church classes, so they know each other and they hang out together and that sort of thing. So our socialization is covered because we do play. I integrate PE time and recess time in our preschool day, so we're covered there. And in addition, we have all of our church stuff. So I really am excited and pleased about where we are with our homeschool this year. In coming years, it'll be a new story, because the preschool kids that I have in my home will be not of my son's age, so we gotta find something different. But anyway, so things are going really good. I'm happy, and the baby is good. I know that some of you may be curious or wanting to ask, how's the baby? He's really good. He's 13 pounds now, a month old, and just a really good baby. So I'm very lucky to have 3 healthy, beautiful children, and I love them. So anyway, that's our little update for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I'm a little sporadic right now, but I do videos updating on our homeschool journey. I will have my preschool week planning videos of what I did in my preschool, so that if you have a little one, or if you're doing preschool, you can take some ideas from me. And then just other tidbits about mothering and life and the craziness that is going on here right now, because it is a little busy and it is a lot crazy. Sometimes I was telling somebody, I feel like, they were saying, gosh, you're amazing that you're doing all this stuff. And I thought, well, it's either amazing, or I sometimes feel like it's a 3-ring circus where people are not sure if they should be like entertained or amazed or like what's going on, because it's a little crazy over here. But life is good, and I will keep posting you and letting you know on how things are going in our lives. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.